If I had $1 for every time someone called me immature, I'd have so many Hot Wheels. My name is Paul Pasolka, Ivy Masters Learning Center and IvyMasters.com. And today we're going to look at something related. It's on Test 5, Section 1, Number 8, which reads, the main idea of the last paragraph is that Mr. Peters what? So let's go to the last paragraph, and we get, remember, first and last sentences are most important. We could see if we get it from there, we are going to read the whole paragraph. Apparently, he himself was not aware that there had been any change. Any change what? The previous paragraph, time is probably no more unkind to sporting characters than it is to other people, but physical decay unsustained by respectability is somehow more noticeable. Sounds harsh. Mr. Peters' hair was turning gray and his scalp showed through the top. He'd lost weight also. He no longer filled out his clothes the way he used to. His color was poor and the flower had disappeared from his buttonhole. In its place was an American Legion button. Apparently he himself was not aware that there had been any change. So he's getting old, he's not even aware of it. Not looking as good as he once did. He straightened his tie self-consciously, and when Irma handed him a menu, he gestured with it so that the two women at the next table would notice a diamond ring on his fourth finger of his right hand. Both of these things, and also the fact that his hands had showed signs of the manicurist, one can blame on the young man who had his picture taken with a derby hat on the back of his head, and also sitting with the girl in the curve of the moon. The young man had never for 1 second deserted Mr. Peters. He was always there, tugging at Mr. Peters' elbow, making him do things that were not becoming of a man of 45. So, we go to the answer choices. What is a good idea? Make a prediction based on what that paragraph is saying, and then look in the answer choices for the match. It'll help you to stay away from attractive wrong answers. Now, I'm not going to give it away, so I'm not going to do that, but working backwards, if you have no idea, then go to the answer choices and work backwards from them. Answer choice A, neglects to spend time with his family members. There's no mention about him not spending time with his family members. In fact, earlier in the passage, we find that he is at the restaurant with his son, so he is spending time with a family member. Answer choice B, behaves as a younger version of himself. We do see support for that. Where do we see support? First, straightens his tie. When Irma hands him the menu, he gestures with it so the two women at the next table will notice a diamond ring on his fourth finger of his right hand. And the guy's 45 years old. So, something like, seriously, like you're trying to show off to these girls. And it says it a little bit more directly that one can blame this on the young man. Who is the young man? It is himself, who had his picture taken with the derby hat on the back of his head, also sitting with the girl in the curve of the moon. The young man had never for 1 second deserted Mr. Peters. He was always there, tugging at Mr. Peters' elbow, making him do things that were not becoming of the man of 45. So it's not his son tugging at his elbow. Who could it be? It could be him. It looks like answer choice B is a good answer here. We'll see why the other answer choices may be wrong. Is very conscious of symbols of wealth and power. Now we do get something of that, because what's he do? He flashes the menu so that the women could see his diamond ring and that could see that his fingers are manicured. So it's like, yeah, I got some money. But that's not the main idea of it. That's just a detail. And what point is that detail making? That he's behaving like a young man. And remember, with the context of the last paragraph, he's old, he's not aware of it. He's behaving like a younger version of himself. So, answer choice C is probably the most attractive wrong answer. Answer choice D is preoccupied with the knowledge that he is growing old. He is the opposite of preoccupied with the knowledge that he is growing old. That's wrong for two reasons. Number one, that's really talked about in the last paragraph. And number two, it says that in the beginning of this last paragraph that he was not aware that there had been any change. Any change of what? Any change of him aging, which is mentioned in the second to last paragraph. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like. You could share it with someone who has trouble with main idea paragraph questions. If there's any question you'd like to see answered from any official PSAT or SAT or ACT, leave that in the comments. I'd be happy to shoot a video on it, and click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Have a great day.